It was when I was 14. I was supposed to be at home with my brother. It was 2 years ago. Hours left to celebrate our 16th wedding anniversary. And Mom and Dad couldn't find a babysitter, so they arranged with a neighbor to watch us from time to time. Hours left and the neighbor put my brother to sleep and said that she would still come to check on us because she still had to finish the papers for work at home. So I thought to myself that when the directorate is free, I'll watch a movie. So I browsed among the horror movies and found Japir's Creep Ears. So I started playing. In the meantime, I turned it off, and the neighbor came to check on us and winked at my brother. He was sleeping like a dead man, and she went to work again. In the middle of the movie, someone knocked on the door. I went to introduce myself, but no one was there, so I returned to the movie. After 10 minutes, I had the feeling that someone was walking on the roof and stomping terribly. After a while it stopped, so I thought it was them mice. Then I went to get water and couldn't find the switch. And when I found it, it was probably broken and didn't work at all. Suddenly, something started pulling my hair. When I turned around, no one was there. I didn't know what to think. I took the water and went to the living room to watch a movie. Meanwhile, the neighbor came to check on us again. My brother was asleep, as Dudik was, so she went home and that she was still coming. My parents were supposed to be back in 2 hours, so I went to watch a movie. The movie ended and I went to bed. When I fell asleep, something kept pulling the blanket over me. After a while, it stopped. After half an hour, I woke up, and a misty male figure was standing in front of me and said, "You will come with me or you don't want me." I thought I was dreaming. I lay down and continued to sleep. Then it started to throw, slap, and God knows what else with me. Suddenly our people came and it stopped for a while. I lay down in bed. At about 5 in the morning it started again, and it was several times stronger. Suddenly I flew out of the window and broke my leg. Suddenly there were people around me in hoods without faces, and they were saying some kind of prayer. A pentagram of fire formed around me outside, and it was getting hot. If it wasn't for Dad and his sprinklers and his holy water, I wouldn't be here anymore. We slept at school, we had a program, we had dinner, we looked for treasure, and then we had free fun. We let the directions speak for, and at midnight suddenly our group of 5 girls had a party. Something woke us up. We left the class. We walked around the teacher. He said she was a light sleeper. But one friend, she almost fell on him and he didn't wake up. We went down to the hall, and there we saw a black figure with a cleaver, and she was looking towards us. We ran to the classroom. Luckily, the teacher was already there. We never slept there again. It happened about 12 years ago. It's about me and my sister, but it's more about my sister. When I was 1 year old and my sister was 2 years old, we lived in the town of Havlikov Brod. We lived in a block of flats. One evening when Mom put us to bed, she went to sit on the sofa. In the corridor that led to our room, she saw a little girl. Mom thought it was a sister, so she told her to go to sleep. The little girl turned and went to sleep. How did she enter our room? She woke us up and said she wanted to play. So we went to play. Almost every evening she came out of the wall to play with us. Since she probably didn't want anyone to know about her, she told us that we mustn't tell anyone about her. And if she says so, she will take her sister's favorite toy. Well, the next day, what the sister didn't do, she told her mother. The mother asked the sister what the little girl looked like, and she answered that she was wearing a long shirt that reached the floor and a hat with a bow. To the room, and she couldn't find her toy. She went to tell her mother, and she said that it was nonsense, that it simply had to be somewhere. Maybe that she had left it with her grandmother or aunt, or that she had it under the bed. But no, nowhere she wasn't. The grandmother simply didn't give a damn and investigated why the little girl was actually here. When she somehow got to it, she found out that there used to be a gallows on the spot where the block of flats we lived in stood. So that's one of the events that happened to me. Actually, it happened more to my family than to me. Nothing that big actually happened to me. I've never seen ghosts or anything like that. But to the other members of the family, yes, I'm actually glad for that. So that's all I wanted to share with you. A few months ago, I went to the Rockery with a friend where there is an old chapel. We were still wondering what was inside, so when we discovered a rotten board, we kicked it out and climbed inside. We couldn't believe what we saw. There was a priest standing behind the altar. We got really scared and ran outside. After about 2 hours of history, we learned that about 3 years ago that man was fatally stabbed there by a chapel robber.